What's up, Ginger Bros listeners? This is Noah from Dentops. Brandon and Andy will be back in a minute with another awesome show. But in the meantime, I want to tell you about our new Dentops community for retail PDR and hail repair business owners and operators. It's a totally free Facebook group where you can mastermind with other PDR folks, ask questions, and share knowledge about growing your PDR business. Within the Dentops community, we regularly post content and host live streams about important topics that will help accelerate your PDR business, like marketing and sales, estimating, customer experience, team and contractor management, and a whole lot of other things that will help grow your PDR business. I would love for you to join the conversation. You can jump in or learn more at dentops.com/ginger. Check it out now, and I hope to see you on the inside.
What is up, everyone? I was trying to figure out if I should play that one before our intro or what, but no, I like the way that one did it. So, hey, the first person to comment is my brother, Andy Patrick. So what's up, brother? I'm glad you're having fun on your vacation. What's up, Tim Green? We got Mr. Dragos on here tonight. Ryan Hebert. What's up, brother? Can't stay, we'll watch later. You never can stay. Well, I mean, you can, but you always do that. But just come back on whenever. What's up, buddy? Great video, by the way. I love it. Yeah, so if you look up here, this month we are sponsored by Dentops. And me and Andy have used them several times. Know a lot of you guys that have. If you have not used them, there's a new Facebook group. Noah, you may want to comment the exact name of the Facebook group. You ain't got to send me a text on it. If you just comment in here, I'll put it up. That way I can put it on the ticker. But definitely go to dentops.com, sign up. If you need them, please use them because they have made us so much more money, especially with hail claims and stuff like that. Andy, I'm glad you're watching the show, buddy, but you need to spend time with your family. What's up, Josh? Josh, I miss our group text we had around this time last year. What's up, Mr. Evan? There it is. Dentops community. Accelerate your PDR auto hail repair business. All right. So y'all go on Facebook, join that group. Huge, yeah. Can't wait to see what Facebook group has. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of information on that Facebook group, and I'm excited about it. Oh, Lord. Well, have fun. Appreciate you being on, brother. Ginger Bros. What's up, buddy? What's up, Shuddy? And Josh. All right. So, yes, we'll talk about Dentops throughout the month, throughout the shows, because I know a lot of y'all have used it. I don't know if our guest has yet. We'll talk about it. And but anyway, our guest is, I want to say he's pretty new to the PDR world. I don't really know. I've been saving questions for having him on the show, but he's been following us for a little while now and been commenting and everything. So we're like, hey, let's get him on here. And, you know, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Andy, I know you're watching, or you were, but do you know what today is, brother? It's our 1-year anniversary for our very first show that we had, or what I call our very first show. I think it was the very first show we had an actual guest on, not just us. But anyway, we'll celebrate that next week and maybe do some kind of cool intro video. And you're missing it. Yep, you're right. No, you're not. You're watching it. So anyway, yeah, it's been awesome. You know, of course, this summer we had a couple of weeks or months that we had to take off because of family stuff. But other than that, it's been a every week thing, and it's all because of y'all. We love y'all, so appreciate it, Jeff. All right, so let's get to it. Um, so our guest tonight is Matt Myers with Tennessee Valley Dent Repair. He is not in Tennessee though. He is actually a Bama boy like me, and but just on the opposite end. So let's welcome Matt to the show. What's up, buddy?
Oh, just got home like I don't know, half hour ago.
I meant to say this earlier when you came on, but you're already in the Christmas spirit. I love it.
So I'm pretty sure we left that up
all year long.
I don't remember. We had a different picture there, and my mom gave that to my wife, and she put it up. It's been up there for a while, at least.
So what you need to do, you know, like people down here leave their Christmas trees up year long, and they just decorate. Now we don't, but they decorate every season and on that tree. I'm talking about everything: Thanksgiving, Mardi Gras. I mean, everything you think of. So on the picture, you could like you can make like clothing for him.
So my wife decorates for like Halloween, not crazy, but Target and Walmart sell these little chickens for seasons. Man, we got chickens forever. All have names and stuff that's like on the tags. But Christmas is big on my wife's family. Like her grandmother, they just put like a bag over her Christmas tree and then put it up. And then every year she like then redoes it. And they're all real big into it. Tree in every room. Yeah,
that's how my mom was. Lights. That's how my mom was. And like the tree that we would always put up in the living room because we had a vaulted ceiling with a walkway that went across, a 10-foot tree. So to put the top on it, it sat right next to the walkway, so you had to go up there and reach over
upstairs to reach and do it.
Yeah,
my wife would love that.
It's like, and it used to be huge, and then it got, you know, once we're all gone, she still did the crap. My dad hated it because he always had to do it. Then she bought a skinny tree, but it was still 10 or 12 foot tall.
My wife does pretty much all of them, and then the house we have now has an upstairs, and upstairs has the traditional kid family tree. So it has like our ornaments from when we were kids, and I make her put colored lights on it, and she hates it. She says it's a little off color, but she says color lights are for kids and whores. So
well,
make her have them.
I love the colored lights. You know, I like both, but we got the tree that you can change it color or white or blinking or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So if I'm just in a white mood, boom. If I'm in the colored mood, boom, change it. I'm good to go.
We pretty much buy trees literally every year. We'll go and find them. We'll buy a new one. She ends up like, oh, I'm going to throw that one away. I don't want to put it back in the box. Yeah,
we're not that into it now.
It's big with her family. When her grandmother and mother, you know, eventually pass, there's going to be so much Christmas stuff that's going to like it's ridiculous. Like they have sheds full of Christmas stuff. They just that's the Christmas shed.
You open up a shop and sell it.
Yeah.
Be like the Christmas shop down in Pigeon Forge. I love going in there, but
that's seriously how it would be.
That's awesome though. Let's see. We got Andy still commenting.
Well,
yeah, we do.
Trying to be a part of it.
He is, yeah. What's up, Matt? Look forward to meeting you in person at the Dents for Kids meetup.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Coming.
Yeah, coming? I think I registered like the day he announced it or whatever on the show, and because I haven't got to be in here, I don't really know a whole lot of Dent guys, so I'm excited to be able to go and meet some people.
Yeah. So speaking of that, so why don't you kind of give us a rundown on how you got into PDR? You know, how you found out about this and how long you've been in it, and just kind of give us a background.
It's been a long trek for me in PDR. I got introduced to PDR in like late 2005, 2006. And I was working for CarMax at the time. And I started CarMax in 05, got introduced. I probably pushed my first dent in late 05, but never really did anything with it. I traveled around and like moved and just kind of grew with the company a little bit, and then left CarMax, moved to Alabama, became a cop, and I was a cop for 4 years. I got married, moved to Huntsville. And I didn't like the department I was with, went back to CarMax, and then did a whole lot of stuff for CarMax, from training to lead roles and all kinds of stuff. And I got tired of all that and was like, I just want to work. It was like, hey, I want to get really good at PDR. And CarMax is not good at training their PDR techs. It's not that they're bad people or bad guys or can't even be good techs. They just do it backwards. You make more money to paint cars and do body work than you do PDR. And PDR is 10 times harder than spraying a car.
Yeah.
So in like 2017, that's when I told him, I was like, hey, I want to go to paint, do PDR. I want to get good at PDR. And Evan's like, hell no, on the training aspect. Evan, the guy that hired Evan, I started with in 2005. I
remember y'all talking about that last week.
We both started in Wichita, Kansas at that store. We were original associates at that store. Goodness. And that's how I met him. He moved up with the company. I left the company and did other stuff and then went back. And CarMax isn't a bad company, like Jeff said. It's a great company. They just are kind of backwards on how their training goes and how things works. And Evan saying I had 2 weeks training. I never got to go to that training. So for me, So in 2017, when I started really doing PDR as part of my full-time job, I taught myself. Like, I had the basics. I'd known how to find my tool from literally 10 years before.
Yeah.
But I taught myself everything that I know. I didn't have anybody to mentor me. I didn't have anything. I watched YouTube videos from
Mike
Dentless Touch, some Mike Toledo stuff. What's the other one? I just searched PDR dents, and like from people putting leather on their tips to soften tips, and just little tiny tricks that I would see, and I would literally just watch. It wouldn't be training me. They would just say, I just watch what they did, and I'd start to implement that.
That's exactly how I did it. I mean, it's almost to a T. Because I had to teach myself, but I'm one of those that if I can watch you do it, I'm going to pick it up. And that's what, hold on.
I'm sorry.
So that's what, no, it's fine.
No, Evan said Christian came to a store and trained him. I know who he's talking about.
I'm guessing
that guy, Christian. Well, I've never seen his PDR. I've heard he's okay at PDR.
Okay.
But Christian, so I was a subject matter expert for CarMax, and I traveled for 2 years, opening stores, problem solving, paint departments, retraining people all over the place. I did 42 trips in 20 months. Like, I was all over it. Christian came to train to be a subject matter expert and failed. But he had been traveling around training PDR. Now he's a general manager for a company that I actually talked to a guy about doing PDR for. And I was like, I'm good not doing that.
Andy said he met Christian in Nashville when he started doing PDR.
That's where he lived for a while. He worked at CarMax at Mid-Rivers Mall. Not Mid-Rivers. He worked at Rivergate.
Okay.
But I mean, he wasn't a bad dude. He just, it just didn't fit into what was going on. But
so you said you had moved to Alabama. Where are you from originally?
That's a tough question to answer. I was born in Sacramento, California, and then lived there all of a couple months, I think. I spent most of my life in Wichita, Kansas / surrounding area. But I've also lived in like Arizona, Colorado. I've lived in Alabama like 3 or 4 times. My wife's family and my mom's family is all from South Alabama, down near Dothan.
Okay. Yeah. 3 hours from me.
Yep. And then my wife's there. My parents are there. But I've moved 40 something times if you include houses in town. I've moved a lot, but I call Kansas home is my place because I spent most of my childhood in Kansas.
Was your dad or mom military or something?
So my dad was military until I was almost 6.
Okay.
He was in the Army twice and was out just long enough to have to go to basic twice. Oh. But we I turned 5 in Panama. So we were in Panama 90, 91. Okay. And then he got out not long after that. And he was working for I'm sorry, Andy's calling.
I know. Look, Andy's usually
I'm here to be able to say this stuff.
Andy's usually putting the comments up, and now I'm having to do it all. So, I'm listening to you, but I'm
and you're over here reading. I'm doing both.
But
no, so we moved all over. He was in the military. He became a helicopter mechanic, and he worked a bunch of stuff. But my dad's a very smart man, and he was my dogs are playing. He was a mechanic, and then got in, started going to school for his own stuff and started growing. Andy's still somehow co-hosting.
That was right.
Super romantic walk on the beach.
I love it. Yeah.
I just
hey, honey, hang on.
I just see him over here just typing away as they're walking.
Yeah.
Her
I'm surprised Amanda's not on there commenting too. Stroll down the beach as they're both watching, our show. I love it.
No, but my dad did a whole lot of stuff. Yeah. So we moved a lot. My parents got kind of bored.
I just didn't know that was. I didn't know if that was
mainly
the reason. Okay.
No, we just ended up moving a lot. I think the longest I went to a single school was 3 years.
Okay.
And that was 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. So I went to 2 high schools, 4 or 5 middle schools.
Goodness. So you graduated in Kansas?
I graduated in Kansas.
Okay.
Town south of Wichita. Went to 2 years outside Denver and Littleton. So I've been kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
So I've been doing, back to the actual subject, I've been doing PDR for about 5 years, trained myself, really used YouTube and that kind of stuff. The best aspect of CarMax when it comes to the PDR side of things is if you mess something up, it's not a big deal. You literally just send it to paint. So you don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to have an awkward conversation to be like, this looks like garbage.
It's a great way to train yourself because you have tons of vehicles to learn on.
Yeah. I'm terrible at social media now. But one of my first big repairs was on a Malibu fender that was probably the size of a softball with not a softball, a volleyball. It was a big repair. But the person that was the lead that was in charge of me at the time really didn't care what I did. As long as I worked, I stayed busy. I wasn't one of those people that avoided work. I like working when I'm working. Yeah. And I just got to work on whatever I wanted to. So I fixed it. And I probably did that 2 months into me doing PDR. It took me a long time. It took me 5 hours, but it was a good learning experience. So everything I ruined, I just got to send to paint. And then I would go walk our paint zone and find stuff. I was like, I might be able to fix that. And I would try really hard stuff entirely too early into my career doing PDR.
Yeah. Did you get paid by the hour or was it commission?
I was hourly. I was hourly. CarMax. So by the time me and Evan got into it, we were all everything's hourly. So it's not commission. So, I was allowed to do whatever I wanted to do.
So we had I worked at a local Dodge dealership when I was learning it. And so we did everything. We did the PDR. We did small conventional repair work on site or even at the body shop, window chip, paint touch up, scratch removal, and if we went somewhere, we were supposed to be able to do it all on site. Eventually got to the point where we were being called out to do small conventional repair for, car lots more than PDR. But it got me used to doing that a lot. But yeah, we had all the used cars we wanted to. As soon as they came off the trucks and they were tagged, they'd go to service. We'd walk the lot, mark them. And then we got it to where it went to service, it came to us, and then it went to detail, and then it was parked. But we had 3 different packages, and so it was A, B, C. A being the least amount of work that needed to be done, C being, having to repaint bumpers and do all the other stuff. So each package was more money. So depending on whatever the package was, our percentage of, commission was each one. And, we were making what I thought was good money for a working for somebody. It still wasn't what I was making, what I used to do, but it was still decent money. Where's the good looking ginger? Shut up, Jeremy.
So I just read that as you started saying
it. He's still in the secret society is what he is, Jeremy, unlike you. So anyway,
no,
it was a great learning. Sorry, but my point was it was a great learning experience because it was kind of like you. So if something got messed up, we just paint and body.
Yeah, it was great. So, and I did all that same stuff for CarMax, detail, touch up, chip repair. I can do interior repair. I do wheel repair. I do PDR. I do conventional body work. I can paint. I can do all of that stuff. And I dislike the majority of that except for PDR.
Yeah.
I unfortunately am working 2 jobs right now because I quit. I started my company. I'm a new company. I started my company technically in March, but I quit my collision job the end of June. So July 1st was kind of my all right, I'm going to go try to do PDR. And it was working a little bit, but I had no contacts up here for anything. CarMax is all in-house. I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
And I had worked for a collision center for a little while. But I had a local mom and pop place that I dropped off my card to call me a couple days later, was like, hey, we got a guy that's going to be out. Do you mind working part-time a little bit, helping us? Because we're behind and all this stuff. So I've been working there basically full-time doing collision work. And I absolutely hate it. And because all I want to do is just push dents. It's like the people are like, man, I don't have the patience to do it. Like I can sit there and push dents for hours. It gets monotonous, but it's different.
But it is hard to start if you don't have, say, a couple accounts in place when you go out on your own. It's very hard because you're going to get tons of no's until they get to know you and your quality. And even with wholesale, it's not always about the quality. It's about the price. And you really, when you go out there and you're new, you're wanting to get the business. So there's a lot of people that'll go out there and just try to undercut whoever's there. And then it just keeps putting our prices down further as far as a community.
Oh, I agree. And I am 100% against that. I'm not great at pricing everything. I price to where I think it's fair for me, fair for them. I have no wholesale accounts. I have one dealership that calls me on occasion, and it tends to be jacked up stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm not great at pricing some of that stuff. So it's good money for me.
So you're you're pretty much all retail?
Pretty much. I've got 3 body shops now that are giving me some work. And one of them is one I'm working at because I solely took the job just to make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Because I
kind of have a base pay.
Yeah. Well, I was bringing in some money, not a whole lot of money. And we had enough money for stuff. So it wasn't like, oh, I couldn't pay my bills, so I took a job. It was, I just wanted to make more money. And feel like I was contributing more because I was spending
Yeah.
a lot of time just driving around doing nothing. Because I'd left with not a single account of any sort. The body shop I left, I thought might use me some, and they don't.
Yeah.
Because I was doing theirs, and it's fine. I don't.
Now, are you doing a lot of before and after photos, videos?
I
That
do my best to take pictures, and I'm really bad at not remembering. Or I'll be
Well,
halfway through the repair and be like, "Crap, I forgot to take pictures."
so that's one thing to just work on is remember, at least remember to always take the before picture.
Yeah.
And if you forget to take the after, you can always call the customer and say, "Hey, I forgot to take an after picture of that. Would you send me one?" At least you would have something. The best thing is video, because the more you put out there, and of course, the more retail you do, the word of mouth, and then people are able to see what you're doing, instead of just photos, because there's a lot of technicians out there you see that they'll take a decent before picture, but then the after picture is way off, using reflection to cover up all the flaws. The more you show detail in it, whether it's perfect or not, it doesn't matter. It's being honest, and people it'll draw more people to you. I mean, it'll take some time, but it'll grow a lot faster doing that. And that's just one thing that you guys got to stay disciplined on. Me, I used to be great at it. And after this hailstorm and Andy left, and I'm finally, to where I'm doing the regular jobs again, I haven't been taking crap worth pictures and videos. I took a couple this week, and that's it.
You made sure to do that sheriff's office fender you did a few months back. Dude, that was killer.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a monster repair.
Yeah, that was that one right there. That was a $3,200 job.
So it's
and that's Dent Ops, I think, helped me on that one.
Most of my stuff is all retail for the most part. I've got one body shop that gives me like probably 90% of my work. And they're not trying to take a cut. They just give them my card and tell them to call me.
Yeah.
Obviously a hell car or something that comes through. Like the only hell car retail I've gotten came through the same body shop, and they took a cut of that. But I mean, things are looking up. I had my best week last week or the week before. I mean, won a ton of money. I made like $1,000. So
yeah.
So for me, for somebody that's a couple months old, and then now I'm not even doing it full time, it's part time, is good. And I'm hoping the guy I've been filling in for is supposed to come back in the next couple weeks. He gets his cast off next week. Okay. I'm hoping to get away from collision work. I'm good at it and make money at it. That's the only reason I do it. So I do my best to take pictures and stuff like that, and I'll get there eventually to where it becomes more, and I get more comfortable and can get on my Mac and do videos and stuff. I'll probably never be as good as Mike Toledo or somebody making videos, or Dave O in his TikToks and stuff. But
it's all in how you want to do it and stuff. But just with the phones we have now, you can get great video content.
Oh yeah, I bought a tripod. And I have 2 phones, so like I'm able to do multiple things, and I'll get to it. It's just hard to get used to.
Well, you don't have to necessarily do video of you doing the repair. It's just a good before video or photo, and try to use the same angle and everything else. I know Jeremy's saying he disagrees, and I'm not necessarily talking about the different angles and the texture in it. I'm talking about they take a good close up, a good like high def clear picture of before, and when they take the after picture, it's grainy, it's at night, it's trying to hide. I'm not big on that. I'm big on show what's there.
Show the
quality that you can do.
The ones I'm doing my best to because we all cross check and our lights change from where we took our original picture. I try to take a picture from this same angle as much as I can, light in the same place, because, I think we've all seen it and we've all done it to where you move the light half an inch over because you had that one little bad spot that you just wasn't good enough what you wanted to show out. But so I'm doing my best to try to be very consistent with them. And my repairs have gotten better over the years. So it's, I'm less concerned with them. I'm very picky about it. I hate seeing it. I have to have people come look at it and then be okay with it because I see every flaw in every repair that I do.
And I promise you, I point the flaws out to the customers. They're like, we don't see what you're talking about. I'm like, look, there is a flaw there. Or say, and I'll have to post it before and afters, hopefully tomorrow or something. But I did a silver F-150. It was under the tail light yesterday, right on the curvature, about a 6-inch sharp crease. And I told him when he called to schedule it, after me just seeing the photos and giving him an estimate, I said, look, high metallic silver has, especially when it's creased like this, I can get it as straight as possible, but there's most likely going to be ghosting in the paint. From the metal flakes that have stretched, and now the light's going to hit it differently, it's going to look like a shadow area. And, and once I got done, it doesn't matter what you do. Mm-hmm. It's going to look like that in that deepest part. And I told him, he said, it looks great to me. Saved me from the body shop. I mean, I'm like, okay, it's still a $600 something job. And, but I'm like, you see what I'm talking about, because most people don't. And I want to point it out to them, because if I don't, and then it's there, when I get done and they come to pick it up and they're looking, what's this? Well, the metal's straight. It's in the actual flakes themselves. Now they're stretched too far, and I don't want to have to do a free job.
Yeah, I've had that where, I've been honest with people like, hey, I don't think I can get it perfect, or I see this piece, this is what's going on. Most people don't see it. So it works out. I mean, it works out well. The more you can connect with people just talking, and that's something I like. I got really good at talking to people between being in law enforcement and then doing as much training as I did for CarMax and having to talk to groups of people, that things go well. People become very happy with something that I look at and I'm like, man, I hope they don't see this little piece that I cannot get out.
And a lot of times it's how it's how you're dealing with that customer, the conversation between the two of you, how you interact with them. Super nice, honest with them. There can be that little flaw. They're happy with it. It doesn't matter to them. It's the experience, the whole experience that they had, that they're more, into than anything else. But yeah, Noah had a good point.
Yeah, I was just reading that.
Yeah,
it was
repair checklist and standard operating procedures, stuff like that. That if you get in a rhythm of this job comes in, say you want to take before pictures and stuff like that. If you have a checklist and that you can go through on each one, at least it keeps you focused and to where at the end of it, oh, after picture, did I take that? Oh, here we go. I got to do it. I need to implement that myself.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of us especially anyone that's not making money off content, it's a lot harder for us to be consistent with it. And more power to any PDR guy that's out there making money off content on the jobs that they're doing. It's just, it becomes more second nature because it's a side hustle for them. So they want to make sure they get those things. And if I could do it, I would. I don't have the knowledge to be able to do it. I'd have to figure it out. At the moment, working 2 jobs is just a second one's a little hard.
Do you have a website yet?
Yeah, I actually used Push and PDR. I hired them maybe a month or 2 ago. So they just built me a basic website that I think went live like a day or 2 ago.
Okay.
And doing Google and trying to get all that stuff going. So it's
give it 3 months or so, and you'll start seeing something. But yeah, no, I was gonna say my before and after that I put on Facebook, stuff like that. I don't get anything from that. I get more from taking those, putting them on my Google and my website. So when people click, that's where they're looking at.
Yeah.
They want to see some kind of before and after. I share it on Facebook, stuff like that, but honestly, it's either word of mouth or Google or my website. And
I think Google, even being, now a small business owner, that you still look at Google reviews, you see who has good reviews or a lot of reviews. So like I do my best. Like I kind of ask for reviews from people like, hey, if you don't mind, especially the people like I've yet to really have a customer that was unhappy with anything that I've done. But that's driving, and I know everybody looks at it. And I had my first customer that literally found me on Google this past weekend and was ecstatic that I drove to his house and he didn't take it somewhere because he took it to another local guy and was worried his car in their lot was going to get dented. The people to give him an estimate wasn't there, and I gave him an estimate over the phone or via text and said it'd be between this and this. If there's a couple other factors that could come into it that would change the price, that would put it on the high end. And his car, I mean, he had like a 20 BMW M2 that I assumed the fenders were aluminum and they were steel, and the dent took me like 15 minutes to fix, and I talked to him for 2 hours. And gave me a great review, gave me a tip. Like, I was happy with it. It was a Saturday, so it was.
Yeah. Now, are you using Mobile Tech RX or?
I am.
Okay. So on that, set your alerts up.
Yeah, I haven't messed with those yet, and
do it because
stuff.
Do it. It saves so much time, and when they pay, that alert automatically goes out. You can pre-program it with your Google link to your review. Boom.
Do you use their like credit card paying off their stuff?
I don't use the credit card stuff. I use Square because Square's always been great. I've had it even before I was doing PDR. I like it the best for me.
I use a company that's linked to my credit union that I bank through.
Yeah.
And I can't ever get the card reader to work. I have to use a dongle to match to my iPhone, and I'm paying more money right now because I have a monthly fee with them. Their transaction fees are less than everyone else's, but I pay them every month too.
Yeah.
And I'm only doing a handful of credit card transactions right now a month. So I'm thinking of changing either to Square or just doing the mobile text payment right now until I get to higher use.
Okay, here's the reason I don't use the mobile tech. When I use Square, I pass on, so I charge 3.5% in-house. If it's over the phone, I charge 5% because it's a manual entry. So my processing fee, yes. If you don't do that, you can write off your processing fees at the end of the year. If I do it, it takes care of that. I like, and I tell them, okay, and I've got signs in here that say that, hey, there's a 3.5% or whatever. And so if they want to pay with card, it's this much plus the percentage added on. If not, it's cash, or I will take a business check or a local check if I feel like I can trust the person.
I've had that to where like I kind of fill out the person I'm talking to whether I say I'll take a check or not. Because honestly, I've had some, not really, I guess I've had some older people, in their 50s or older that want to pay with check, and I'm fixing nicer cars. So like they can afford the $150 or $200 that I charge them.
That's usually the ones that I accept checks from. The older generation that they still like writing everything out. Yeah.
So it's not, and so Bruce said more and more businesses are charging the fees.
Yeah.
The body shop that I work for has a sign. They move that fee onto the customer.
Yeah, most people.
These people are
now,
and they're paying fees on $1,000 deductible.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
I mean,
it's crazy.
It's fine. I mean, it's their own. So business for me is going well. At least it'll get there, and I'm ready to do it full time.
It will, and at Andy's meetup, you'll get some contacts and stuff like that. That, man, you can always reach out to us, and if you ever have any questions or anything like that. And
I had Carl actually told me to reach out to you one day. We were talking about because I've thought about trying to. I don't think anybody up here does motorcycles, and I've thought about
probably not.
maybe reaching into motorcycles. I hadn't decided yet. He was like,
Yeah.
"I think Brandon built his own thing. You can tell him that I mess. Leave me alone." My dog's messing with me. Said I should reach out to you. I was like, I think he made his own.
Yeah, I'll bring you a list of pretty much everything you need.
I don't know if I want to do them. They look hard. But I've never even messed with one. Never even looked at one.
Yeah. I've been trying to get Andy into doing it too. But no, I'm not doing Bitcoin.
Andy's gonna be a detailer before it's over with.
Andy's gonna be Andy wants to be Matt Moore before it's over. That's his goal, to eventually have people doing it all, and which is a great, thing to shoot for. Anyway, hey, so we're well past halfway.
Oh, well past halfway on the.
So let's move into who Matt Myers is outside of the PDR world, what you like to do and stuff, and married, kids, anything like that.
So I am married. I've been married 9 years.
Better get it right.
I got it right. Next year's 10 years. My wife wants to take a big trip in June. These are my children now.
Oh.
Hey, girls. So I now have 2 dogs. Full-blood German Shepherds, Reese. The brown one's Tallulah. No kids for us. Not planning on having kids. And if we have kids, the surgery was not successful. So we live here in Huntsville. We've been here since 2013. I moved 3 days after we got married up here to Huntsville from South Alabama. My wife, we've been together since 2009 when we moved to Alabama. Me and my family did. It's just us. I'm 36. I'm in the prime of my life, I guess.
What speaking of that, I mean, me doing this 75 hard challenge, you were talking about, you've lost a lot of weight, and I was like, I got a Facebook stalking then. I'm like, holy crap, dude!
So
you went through a transformation.
Did I post some of those before and afters on Facebook?
Yeah,
I don't know. I have most of my social media
maybe not
locked down.
Well, I think you did. If it was,
I don't know. Let me see if I can find something if anybody's interested in seeing Fat Matt. As some of my old friends called me, was Fat Matt. I don't know if this is going to work.
That's him. The cop days eating all the donuts, right?
Yeah. So actually, I graduated the police academy in 2009 in July 31st, 2009, and I was 186 pounds. Okay. And when I left that police department 2 years later, I was 240. I lost weight for my wedding. I got down to the lowest I ever got down then was 199. And then we moved up here, and then my diet and exercise changed. I got fat again. The most I ever got was to maybe 265.
Okay.
June of 20, I decided, basically, I'm depressed. I'm tired of being fat. I don't feel good. Tying your shoes is hard. So I started working out and not eating and doing stuff. I don't know if this works, but there's Fat Matt.
That's the one I saw, yeah.
And then that's last summer, because I basically don't keep up with any of the pictures anymore. So I decided to work out. So I got online coaches, and I work out 4 days a week. I meal prepped for a long time. Now I do my best just to track calories and protein intake. Lost a total of about 70, 75 pounds. The lowest I got this summer was 178. I think I hit that one day. So
how tall are you?
I'm 6 foot.
Okay.
I'm pretty kind of tall, average height.
I used to be 6'4". Now I'm like 6'3".
I was getting old.
Yeah. Feet getting bigger, and I'm getting shorter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always been I struggled to gain weight when I was younger. I was a beanpole, filled out, especially when I traveled for 8+ years, managing disaster work. I was in my truck all the time, eating, you know, drinking beer all the time. And I mean, I think the biggest I got was only, say, about 235, 236. But it was, with me, it's all good. And then I was constantly bloated all the time. And I've been like that. I mean, I'll be 43 in December. And I've had 3 heart surgeries going up. I should have been doing this a lot sooner. But I just kept excuses. Been on my son about, working out, you want to be a starting pitcher, junior, senior year, you got to get stronger. Yeah, you can control the ball, but you got to get stronger, throw harder, and all this. And they do workouts. I'm like, he's telling me these workouts, and I'm like, man, you're not getting, what y'all are doing just didn't do anything. You got to do stuff on your own. And I built this, got all this weight equipment in the shop last summer or summer before last, and he doesn't even touch it. And I mean, it's just a lot to it. And finally, I told Andy, I was like, all right, beginning of this year, I'm doing the 75 hard challenge. We're going to do it together. And then we put it off. Finally, I was like, September 1st, boom, I'm doing it. I don't care what it is. I just bought a bunch of beer. It was all in my mini fridge. I had to pour all that out. I'm like, because by the time I get done with it, it's not going to be good anyway. And of course, I had a buddy say, "Why don't you just call me?"
Yeah, somebody would have taken it from you.
I'm like, nope. I just poured out, and I saw all the empty cans, and but it's so amazing how much better I feel. I'm not bloated. I'm not.
Yep.
I mean, it's just mental clarity. Now, yeah, I try to get 8 hours, but I try to be, no later than 10 o'clock. But like yesterday, I had a long day here. I got home, my back was sore because of how I was standing and working all day yesterday. I still had to work out yesterday afternoon after it. I got home, I took a shower. I was in bed by 8 o'clock. My wife gets home. She's like, "You're already in bed?" I was like, "My back's spent." It's not like hurt. It's just spent. I got to lay flat. And by 8:30, I was out like a light.
Yep.
Wake up 5 o'clock, walk again. I'm like, I feel great, but getting more rest and doing everything else that I'm doing. Next week, I'll actually start actual strength training. I've been doing nothing but getting my body used to a lot of reps, lighter weight, stuff like that, doing it right. And then next week, actual strength training. So I'm excited about it. I can see a difference in myself. I'm not going to reveal that until
later on, maybe 75 days.
Yeah, in 75 days.
But that's the way to do it, though. The way you're doing it's great. I don't do a lot of cardio, but I lift 4 days a week. I mean, but you walk. I don't do that. I just walk a bunch of work.
Walking's not a whole lot of cardio unless you're just power walking.
Well, the thing is that, and it took me a long time to learn on the health side that your exercise, the exercise time that you're doing is such a small portion of how many calories you burn in that day when it comes to whether you want to lose weight or you want to maintain weight or you want to feel better. But that NEAT time, which is like non-exogenic thermo reaction, I don't know, it's just your body burning calories, right? Just from being alive. If you just walk and have a step goal every day, like I have an 8,000, it's supposed to be 6 to 8. I do 13 to 15 typically every day, 1,000 steps that you'll get to. That helps just how many calories you can eat, how things are going, make sure you're not going crazy, balance your life in moderation. Like I buy everything like calorie free or reduced calorie, diet everything now, sodas, everything is something zero, or it has 5 or 10 calories. If it's on occasion, I'll have something that'll just be a diet with stuff. But that movement is so go so far in your body to make you feel better. Like me at 30, I got diagnosed with gout. And at 30, I had high blood pressure, gout, bad cholesterol, taking medicine for everything. And now I take nothing. I just stopped it when I started feeling better, and I don't need any of it anymore. I might have had one gout attack in 2 years. So it goes a long way just to be a healthier lifestyle.
It does. And in the back of my head, so the last time I had heart surgery was when I was 15. So, and after that, the doctor said, well, if you ever have to have it again, probably be in your 40s, and we'll just replace your valve with a mechanical valve then. And then I'll be on blood thinner the rest of my life, stuff like that. Well, I used to go checkups every single year. And for a long time, it was progressively getting better on its own. And then he was like, well, let's go 5 years without me having to see you. And I let it go like 8 years. And finally went back a couple of years ago, and they changed names in the group and lost all my records. I was the youngest heart patient at 2 weeks old in 1979 in the States. And they have none of my records. So I had to go in there like a brand new patient, same heart doctor. He's like, he remembered me, but it's been 8 years. He didn't remember anything else about it. Yeah. And so he's, listening. Of course, I got to do EKG, and then I have to do a stress test. And I'm like, I'm out of shape,
Yep.
And I got to do stress test. I mean, I'm just dying over there. They're like, oh, you got a murmur. I'll always have a murmur in my heart. I mean, I'll always have that, There'll always be some sort of seepage there. And, but they have nothing to base it on prior to now to know if it was worse,
normal, better,
what it is now. And so I've put it off for about 2 years. I need to go back and have another checkup just for a checkup. But I'm like, they're going to do a stress test again. And so that's in the back of my head. Another was, if I do this now, anytime I say something to my son, he sees me doing it. And so last Thursday, he started working out with me. Yesterday or Monday, he worked out with me. So hopefully, and he does his workouts at school, but when he gets done here, even with just the reps and lighter weight, he can feel it more after he gets done with me. And my cousin's put me on he's the one that's doing the whole system for me. But yeah, it's like, quit telling my son to do it, and I need to do it in order for him to see it and join in with me. So there's a lot to it, a lot to my goal on it, and we'll see when I get done.
Consistency is key in all of it, whether it's you move somehow every day. So that goes a long way. Just you going out for walks, because it's a habit forming. Like this is a rough week for me at the gym. I missed my workout yesterday because I went and got a car from a dealership to fix a roof that it looks like a bunch of 6-year-olds danced on. And so I worked, and then our bedroom's above it. So my wife made me stop. So it's been sitting in my garage. And as soon as I get done here, I'm going to go out there and finish this roof.
Bang on it again.
Yeah. She's not here. She has work stuff. So that works out. But the consistency is key. Once you start lifting weights, it's actually going to help probably your shoulders and stuff, just in the PVR side of things, to help longevity in your body, which is great for everybody. But
I hurt my rotator cuff, I don't know, 2 years ago, and it took about a year and I still can't like throw a baseball hard or anything like that. Like I can move it fine. So when I go to do a pull up and I hang like this, it pulls right there, and I can't do that. I can't do the pull ups because of that. It's not like it's a a knife pain or anything like that. I just know it's not completely healed. So I can do other exercises to strengthen that up more. And then once it's better, I can move on.
Yeah, and that's relative. My back hurts 99% of the day, all the time. So it actually hurts less during the day than when I get up out of bed. So as soon as I relax, mine's all from tension, but it'll get.
Well, I've been doing stretches, like 30-minute stretch sessions and stuff, and including my back. I mean, sometimes it feels like it makes it even, more sore. Yeah, and I'm like, dang. But
mine's all in my hips, all
really?
my hip flexors. Yeah, if I would consistently stretch my hips, I did it for a while. All the pain goes away, and I just lose track of doing it. Don't have time to do it. Don't. Yeah. When I worked at CarMax a year ago, I worked night shifts, so 3 to midnight, and I went to the gym before, so I had nothing but time. I'd go to the gym 2 or 3 hours before I had to be at work, and I'd stretch for 30 minutes, work out, then go to work, and then go home and sleep because I didn't have anything else to do.
I love it. So your wife is actually from Dothan?
Yeah, she's from Geneva County, which is the county just west of Dothan.
She's from Geneva. Well, holy crap! So one of my brother-in-laws is from Geneva.
Really?
Graduated from there. Everything still hunts up there.
So she's from the town next to that, Hartford, but Geneva's the county seat, and it's the name of the county. But it's the whole county is 25,000 people. So
it's small.
That's where my mom's from. That's where her family's from. Her grandfather was the police chief of the city of Geneva back in the day.
Well, then they would know last name Minshew. They would know that because his dad is he's in his 80s. So he and like well known up there.
Yeah.
So they would know. That's pretty funny. But no, I was gonna say my Harley dealership down here, that when I got my foot in the door there, the guy who I did work for and all that, he left here and has been the GM for the Dothan. He is actually from Dothan. He's in his early 60s now, maybe. But originally back in the 70s or whatever, had worked at the Harley dealership in Dothan. That's where he started working. Anyway, now he's the GM there. And so he does send me tanks and stuff from Dothan.
From Dothan.
Or he'll bring them down because he's got a huge cabin cruiser boat, and it's docked now in Pensacola.
The tank thing I thought about doing in PDR, because my brother just moved back to Kansas, but he worked for a custom shop in Sampson, which is in Geneva County. He built all of their exhausts and designed some of them, called Bone Shakers, if anybody that's into Harleys. But I could probably like get work through like that custom shop. Like if they ever had somebody asking somewhere I could drive down, it's a like 4.5, 5 hour drive, but for a specialty thing, especially if you get one or two set up or more, it'd be worth the trip.
Yeah, it'd be better to get them to either meet you halfway and deliver it to you, and then when you get done, or just ship it to you. Because you're trying to go down there and do it, trying to make a mobile setup, stuff like that. You want it to where you can kind of control the environment too.
Yeah.
Because if you feel rushed on a tank, you're going to end up screwing it up. It's not as hard as you think. Now it does work your shoulders and elbows a lot more, and it's all about where the dent's located, if you actually have access to it, stuff like that. Because not every dent can be repaired on it. But I'll go into a lot of depth to that with you if you want to get started on it and stuff like that.
It's something I've thought about. I think all of us have always kind of think of what we want to do next, like expand your business. Like 2 years from now, I'd like to do this, or a year from now, or this or that. And we probably all think that we're going to jump out of here and everybody's just going to give us as much work as we can handle. Yeah. And it's not really like that. You end up getting the work you don't want to do sometimes, but you take it because you need money. And then,
well, that's the same way with the motorcycle stuff. There's a lot of people that want to get into it and think, so and so can throw me work and all this. It's hard to get into that niche. It really is, because like the dealerships, unless you've done something for, say, the GM of that dealership, it's hard to get your foot in there, because they almost would rather just buy a tank. What's good right now is I was already in with the dealership here, and it'll go in spurts. I'll do several of them, and then it could be months before I do any tanks. I'm not like Grom and Hamby and Tory Jenkins, and they get them shipped from all over and stuff like that. But like in the last month, I've done 3 of them for them, and a couple of them back to back. And it was stuff that was just, the paint's damaged. They've got a painter that said, "Hey, can you at least get it to where he doesn't have to do a whole lot to it?" I said, "Yeah, here's the price." And they're like, "Okay." I'm like, "Hell yeah." "Can you come get it?" "No, it's just me here at the shop. I'm booked up. If you can deliver it out here." "Okay, we'll send a guy out here." They send a guy, drop it off. When I get done, I call them. They've been coming back. It's actually been nice, but I remember going into different shops and stuff. I even went into that one before I ever knew anybody. Went to service, explained what I did, dropped some cards off. It's basically like, "Okay, yeah, get out of here. If a customer has a dent in it, we'll replace it." Until I had somebody in there which is the guy I was talking about, called me about his truck. And when I gave him a price on that, he said, "Well, 2 other PDR guys said they couldn't do it, that it's not fixable." I'm like, "Yeah, that's fixable." And he said, "Well, have you ever done motorcycle tanks and fenders?" I'm like, "I've done a couple and I need more." And so I went down there. He showed me a few. I ended up doing them for him. And his truck door, he showed the actual owner of the place. That's when I got my foot in the door, because they actually saw. So the first one that the owner said I could do and they gave me to do was a matte black tank, 6-gallon tank with a dent that big in the side of it. I got it all out. It was before I had a stand. I had it strapped down to a transmission table out here and trying to lean over that sucker and get it out. I got it like nothing ever happened. I took it back, and the owner looked me dead in the face. He said, "I'll tell you right now, I told Robbie that you couldn't fix that, and that's why I gave it to him." He said, "You just proved me wrong. You got all my business." Okay. So every time I go in there, he's sitting up front. I make sure that I say hey to him.
Yeah.
Talk to him for a second, but I deal with all the guys in the back.
It's something that I've thought about, because like I said, I didn't think anyone up here does particularly. Nobody specializes in it.
Not that I
I
know of.
No people. Carl told me he fixed a fender one time, and I actually had like the guy that fixed my garage door mentioned it to me, and I was like, "Yeah, I think I may know who did that for you, or for his friend that had done it." Because I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, try it. I don't know if it'll work," on different things. And I'm kind of that big believer. There's a lot of stuff. Once you start watching these videos, you can fix basically anything if you got the time and desire to try to fix it.
You're right.
So you're right. Managing expectations is big on those, but it's something. I can only buy so many tools in the few months that I'm in, so it's something I eventually want to. I think I'll get into, just to, even if it's not hugely profitable, eventually, hopefully your name gets out. I'm doing my best to have really, really good quality, people to be happy with the work that I do, so that word of mouth is always going to be the best kind of advertisement. I can go spend thousands of dollars on TV ads, and somebody telling their friend that I did a good job is.
But if you can't back it up, with actual quality work, then there's no sense in it. People will see right through that. No, you're doing good. You're doing the way it should be. I don't have like the Grom Ultra tool set for the tanks and all that. I didn't buy that. I use the ones I have. I made some.
I bought one of your tools that was A1. Some Fender tool that's going to go U or something.
Yeah.
Well, I had somebody ask me about a Fender. And they sent me a picture, and I was like, man, I don't have a tool that'll get to the edge of the Fender. So I went looking, and I found that one. I was like, well, I'm going to buy that one.
It's not the exact shape that my original is. It's been in about, I don't know, an inch more. So I go back to my original make one all the time.
The one you put a torch to and put it.
I've been in around I took an old rotor and welded a big nut on it, stuck the end of that rod through it, and just kept heating it up and bending it around. So it's not like the perfect bend like the A1 one. I still use the A1 tool all the time too, but if I need it to get a little bit further up, I got to go back to my.
Man,
actually, I used the Hercules tool on that Ford truck.
Evan earlier said he's like, man, I had access to like $8,000 worth of Ultra tools and had no idea what he was doing. So Carbax is in with Dent Magic. That's where they get all of their tools is Dent Magic, right? And they're not bad tools.
My first set was a Dent Magic set.
So it's not that they're bad tools. Just I guess that the technology of tools is expanded from just having this bullet tip piece of metal, and they have they have more that came out adjustable tips, but that's how I started. It was just metal on metal, nothing soft, and I finally convinced them to buy me some stuff. No idea what to buy. I bought them from Dent Magic. Everything was too weak, but and that's how like, oh man, this doesn't fit. Like they had a brace tool that instead of being like a J hook, it was like a V.
Yeah.
That didn't go into anything. And back in the day, like in 06 or whatever it was, we had just torched the stuff and put it in the floor grate and bent everything so that we could use it on something. And I wasn't even a dent guy back then. I just was wasting time back there, and they'd be like, where'd he go? He's supposed to be cleaning cars.
I'm making a tool. I did look, my first set was Dent Magic, and that's only so the set I trained on and learned with was all finesse tools. But it was all steel, bullet tips, stuff like that. I didn't learn about taping tools until after I left and went out on my own. Taping the ends of it. I'd go to Harbor Freight. I'd get a pack of welding gloves, and I'd cut the fingertips off. Put it on the end of that tool. Wrap it up, and I was like, "There we go."
Man, when I saw Chris with Dentless Touch put leather on a tool one day, right? I went to Joann's Fabrics and bought a foot or 2 feet worth of like 1/2 inch wide leather. And I just would cut it off like 2 inches in. And then, I'd tape it with tape from the shop or whatever and put it on there and push with that. And the next thing you know, I'd pull it off and it'd be inside a door or something because I'd put it on a flat bar that didn't have an adjustable tip or something.
Yeah.
And I'd lose it. So I'd cut another piece off. Like the Tessa tape. I'm like, what's Tessa tape? Or the wrong kind. Never used it. Now that I'm using Tessa tape, everybody's like, got to use Glexo. And I'm like, man, I can't even catch up by the time that's going on now.
So I use gaff tape for most everything, which, gaff tape's what they hide, wiring on stages and stuff like that. So Guitar Center is $20 a roll. It used to be, but it'll last for a long time. And then it's 2 inches wide. So I'd peel it in like thirds sections, down, wrap it like that. And that's great for everything that you need until you use heat. When you use heat, you need Tessa tape. And the real Tessa tape, I'd always go down to my Mercedes dealership and buy it from there, $20 a roll. And you can't tear it. You can't do anything with it. You got to cut it. But I would use the gaff tape. And if I needed, I would coat it with a tessa tape, and have an R4 cherry tip under all that. And, that cherry cap would last for a long time.
Softening my tools made my repairs so much better. Like,
especially on bigger stuff.
On small stuff, if it's sharp and you just start over pushing on some of these things, you're like, oh, well, that's messed up. I had a guy, because I've trained 2 or 3 PDR techs. I've trained painters and all kinds of stuff. Like, at least I've attempted to train. If they don't want to listen to me, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
Right? And I've had them go like completely chew up a body line on a door. So like Nissan is super soft metal. They have like, I can remember one specifically, an Ultima door. He had put something down the window, flat bar or whatever. It wasn't a twist tool, and chewed this dent up. He's like, man, I'm struggling with this. Can you come see if you can do anything with it? I went and looked at it. I was like, no. Like, it was silver, or like it was some form of silver. I'm like, that thing's chewed up. That thing's going to get painted. You destroyed that thing. Like, you were a little late coming and asking for help.
Oh man. Well, dude, it's we're an hour and 12 minutes in, so it was a good show, dude. I'm glad that you can talk and talk and talk. I love it. That's what we need. That's the type of guest that we love to have on, that there's no awkward silences and stuff.
That's my wife. Are you going to get to the point? That's what she tells me all the time. Like, use your words. Like, I am, a lot of them.
I have the gift of gab. It comes from my grandfather and all that side of the family.
Mine comes from my mom.
Oh, that's all on my mom's side is the Rambos. But anyway, appreciate you coming on, brother. And
enjoyed it. Appreciated the invite.
Appreciate everybody who did watch and who's still watching and commented and everything. I didn't ask you if you've used DentOps yet.
I haven't.
Okay.
It is definitely big on my radar. I actually haven't had anything that I've needed DentOps for yet. I've seen them now for a few months. I haven't signed up with them. It's something I want to do. I know there's other people out there, and there for a while they were limiting on how many people they're having, and I don't want to take someone's spot, especially when I'm like, we don't have a hailstorm up here. We don't have any of that stuff to where I would need it.
Well, it's not just for hail. So I've used them on a couple of hail jobs, but I've also used them on big repairs. That one was the bedside needed to be repaired. The bumper had to be replaced, rear bumper, but I knew I could repair the bedside. But with the size and everything else, I was going to be off matrix on PDR. So I went ahead and sent it to Noah. Noah converted all full conventional, the bedside replacement, everything on there. Ended up being almost $4,000 job.
Yeah, I don't see. And for me, like, because I'm so new at all of this stuff, and like I said, I don't have a mentor at all. Like, there's a local dent wizard guy that's been here now a little over a year. Super nice guy. GW that I'll ask stuff for occasion, but I don't really have a whole lot of people to ask a lot of questions on. That when people are talking on here how to do, they write it as conventional. To me, I don't understand how you can write it at this and then not do that repair.
Well, it's so here's the thing. It's the customer's decision on which one want to go. So, you're getting the money for the conventional repair. You're getting the money. So if that's the route they want to go, there's the money to do that. If you can do it paintless dent repair wise.
I got you. So what it is they're having.
Yeah. They
pay the customer pays you.
Not necessarily. So even if they pay you, so what you do is, say on a hail job and it calls for certain panels, if it's off matrix, I send it to Noah. They write it up where it's conventional repair. Okay. Knowing that you're going to fix it PDR. Okay. Well, my invoice to the customer shows it all as everything was repaired PDR. Okay. My invoice to them has nothing to do with conventional repair unless I actually did conventional repair on that specific, like that one truck. I did replace the bumper and have to repaint it and stuff like that. But the bedside was all PDR. I repaired it that way, 100%, no conventional, no replacement. You're getting the money. Yeah. So like Noah said, it's an estimate versus a repair plan. So it's up to the customer. That's what I tell them, especially on Hell. I'm like, look, I can already tell you before I write this up that it's going to throw it off matrix. So if you see my estimate, it's going to call for paint and body work. Because once it gets over a certain number, insurance is going to say, oh, it's cheaper for us to replace paint and all that, which in the long run, it really isn't.
No.
So you're getting conventional money, but you're doing all the repairs as far as what you're doing is all paintless.
Yeah.
So
I know it works. There's too many people already like raving over it that it's
it works.
That it's
awesome.
That it's something it's definitely on my radar to use. And I hope I get to the point to where I do that. For me personally, I actually wouldn't mind going somewhere and doing some training.
So if you go,
I've never done any of it.
Well, like Ryan said, he said, let's get you signed up tomorrow. Go ahead and sign up. It's free to sign up. And I'm assuming, and Noah can correct me, but, in the beginning, they were giving you 2 free, what do you call it? Where they convert
estimates or whatever it is.
Yeah. So what they're doing is they're taking your mobile tech and they're converting it to CCC. Okay. But they are actually taking the time and looking up everything.
Yeah.
The crap that's not in Mobile Tech RX. Every little part that is a one-time use and stuff like this. And it gives you a better battle, and it's all in the insurance company's language. So if you have any type of insurance job, at least do that once or twice with them. And now guys are saying that they're actually getting the insurance companies to pay for that, what you paid in ops.
Was it you or Andy had someone pay for it?
Well, I think Jack Bucknell did, and a couple others. And there's a certain way you got to word it and stuff. And Noah will know how to. I think he's.
I'll tell you, an insurance company. The last body shop that I worked for, the like GM of it is a wizard at writing all that stuff and training people on how to write that crap, and they got paid for all kinds of just ridiculous estimates. Yeah. And I think it's great for the PDR business because, prices shouldn't go down. We're more, and at least in my opinion, probably everybody's opinion, we're more skilled than most body techs when it comes to things because it just takes longer to learn. I can teach someone to put mud on stuff, and it doesn't necessarily knock people that do body work. I do it every single day. I put on 2 door skins today. Like, it's a different skill set that every single body tech I've ever met while doing PDR goes, I wish I could do that.
Yeah. Well, and there's, I want to say that those that try to transition from a body man who's been doing that for so long into just PDR, the majority of them convert right back to body because they've been doing that so long. The way that they do that, they don't have the patience to really, learn the art of paintless dent repair.
Getting money as a body guy is fast money. You have to work fast.
Yes.
Getting money in PDR is you've got to work efficient and smart and do overall quality is your big thing.
Yeah. So you're talking about it's a valuable skill set for sure. I highly recommend learning more about estimating. But yeah, they do 2 free estimates. So go on there tomorrow and at least go ahead and get signed up. At least if you go ahead and get signed up, then you're in there.
Yeah. When you need it.
Yep. So they find everything, man. I love it. I'd love to learn how to do the CCC and but until I do a lot more insurance other than just hail.
Yeah. And I haven't
But
done any insurance except for one hail car through a body shop. So it's,
yeah,
for me, I had a customer the other day asked me if I was willing to, if I worked with insurance. And I said, I don't know how, but I'll figure it out if you need me to.
well, you can always get up with Paul Corden
Oh
and
yeah. I'm in
just
that group and they, all that
well,
stuff has
a
helped
30
me a lot
minute
on
a 30
pricing.
minute phone call with him. No, I mean he'll charge you a little bit, but it's well worth it. He
Oh
will.
yeah. Unfortunately, all of these things are all stuff on my radar. I'm trying to figure out
Yeah,
what I'm going to do and how to expand my business. And, you know,
yeah,
even podcasts like this and all the other ones that I've tried to listen to, YouTube videos, verbiage goes a long way with talking to people, trying
yep.
to get more money. I'm in that such an early stage that I'm afraid to price things higher because I need the money and want the money. So
Yeah.
I'm slowly trying to creep up a little bit, especially on more difficult repairs. If it's a little small ding someone sent me, I price it on the lower end just because I know things will be a little bit quicker. I'll get the money. Anything that's relatively complicated, I'm trying to creep up my prices a little bit to try to make
You
it.
just need to call me. We'll talk about it because I'll get that head trash out of your head because that's all it is.
Yeah. Noah
Trust
said
me.
join the DinOps community. And like on my way home
Yeah.
from work today, I saw his post in Paul's group saying, "Hey, would
Yeah.
you guys be interested in this?" Like it was a say yes or no, and I said yes, and it wasn't like I hadn't even
Yeah.
got in the driveway. He had liked my comment saying, "Yeah, I'll join this stuff,"
Yeah.
because I want to get to where I want I'm making the money that I deserve for the work that I put in. I'm not trying to screw an insurance company. I'm not trying to screw an individual. I just want to make money that I'm happy because Paul put it the right way in all those posts. The only people that have to be happy with your price is you and the customer.
Exactly.
So I
Yeah.
want to be happy with what I'm getting, the work that I'm doing, and do a fair price, and everybody come out on the positive side of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing this to get rich. Of course, I'd love to be rich, but I
Well,
enjoy doing the work, and I want to just live a comfortable life and enjoy what
but
I'm doing.
yeah, but you want to get to the point where, like you said, you're getting paid for the quality of work that you do. If you're doing high quality work, you need to get paid what it's worth. And that's why I like Mobile Tech RX because I don't stray away from the numbers on there because I know I can.
Do you use
What's that?
Paul's pricing guide?
Oh yeah, I use 22 version. So
See,
my business cards still have the 1 inch at 154, and like a guy grabbed it the day after paying for his and his buddy. I gave him an estimate, and he said, "Oh, I thought you said 1 inch was like 163 something." I said, "It is. That's my old cards, and I'm not printing new ones until those are out."
gone.
Yeah, he's like, "Smart man." I said, "The prices have gone up a little bit since I printed those." He's like, "I love the cards."
I've been using what is it, the 2020 version a little bit.
Yeah, and that's the 154.
Yeah,
50,
and
stuff
I
like
use that on my low end of things to where like I try to do my minimum is 125 right now. I want to get to that like 150 mark because I think that
Yeah.
one I don't know what our I don't know when I know a couple techs around here and people price differently. I don't want to be the most expensive person and I don't want to
Well,
be the cheapest
here's
person.
but here's the thing: if you're how I explain it to customers, especially when it's right there in front of them, when I'm using it, I go by a national pricing structure. Okay, I don't pull numbers out of my rear end. So anything up to an inch is this price right here. If it's behind bracing, if it's on body lines, there's upcharges because I know I can get it all out. I know I
Yep.
can repair it. So this is how much it's going to cost. I did an estimate yesterday, and I explain it to everybody when I do my estimates. So even when I just look at it, depending on, say, this dent was in the door, it was 2 inch, it's creased in the middle of it, but it's down where it felt like it's probably behind a brace. Okay. So I explained to him right there in front of him. I said, all right, well, measure this out 2 inch. There's an upcharge for a crease. Okay. I said, it's most likely behind bracing. So how I always do my estimate is I do worst case scenario. So I'm going to put on here that I've got an R&I, the inner panel. I've got to, forgot what else it was, the belt molding or something like that. Anyway, it was something on there. I said, my first way that I'm going to try to get to this dent is rolling the window down, going down through the window. If I can get to it, repair it, I take this amount off. I would rather call you and say, hey, your car's done. I didn't have to do this, this, and this. So now your total is reduced, instead of me calling you and saying, hey, I got to do this, 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 and add money to it. He's like, can we book it right now? Like, yes, sir. Let's go ahead.
And I've been trying to get to that way, and it's a mental thing for you to get into that play. And I've started getting better at those price ranges. And like I listened to PDR College the other day where Shane and Paul was on it. It was their last one they did with Paul on it. And they used the word factors as changing. Yeah. And so I'm trying to implement it because I think that works. And I'm like, I give them a price range, this. If the dent's larger than what you're showing me in this picture, if this is aluminum, if it's this or whatever, not knowing off the idea. And they're like, okay, cool. And then I'm like, if I can't repair it, I don't charge you. And then I'll reduce the price. If I'm not happy with my repair, I'll reduce the price on the person. And then, if these factors don't come into play, you'll have the lower end of it. If it does come into play, it'll be the higher end of it. And
so how I tell my customers, I'm 100% satisfaction guarantee. And before they say anything, and I tell them I'm 100% satisfaction guarantee. That includes your satisfaction and my satisfaction. So if I'm not satisfied with my repair on it, I don't charge. They're like, what? And I've done that several times, and they're like, it looks great. I'm paying you something. I'm like, no, you're not. I get them customers back tenfold.
I've argued with customers on not getting paid on some stuff that I didn't like, and finally gave in and took some money from them because they were way more adamant about at least compensating me for attempting a little bit. And, obviously you always make it look better. It's always better, Andy. It's always better than it was. He likes me better than you, Andy.
Yeah, we're trying to beat James Ritchie's time. Since he beat Don Kavanaugh's, we're going to beat his.
Look, it's the anniversary show, so it's going to be a little long.
It'll be long, yeah.
Hopefully your walk went well.
You always rushing me and shit right.
It's because you always have to pee. You got to get up and run away.
I know. Yeah. How many times did you pee on the beach there? Did you go wade out
back.
The water?
Let me go in the water.
We go wade in the water. Oh man,
you're right. No, I mean, for me, I'm super happy about. I pooped once.
Hey, thanks, Ryan. Matt will get with you tomorrow and sign up, buddy.
Oh yeah, I need to sign up with him. I'm super, super excited for my business to grow. My wife is super supportive on me. She's actually pushing me to stop doing collision work. So like I've legit worked basically 8 to 5. Now the body shop that I'm working for is very good about me. Like, hey, when I started, they knew if you got PDR to go do, I understand you have another business that you're doing that stuff and that comes first, you can leave. And I try to balance it between the two and, just not up and leave them. I'll go with lunch and do stuff. But my wife's like, when are you going to back off? You need to go be trying to make contacts and try to get more work and try to do these things. And it's just fantastic because I want to, because that's what makes me happy is pushing dents and doing those things.
How I've tried to explain it to everybody that has the same or in the same situation, because I was there. When you finally are able to give 100% of your time and your energy into your business, helping it grow, you'll see how much faster it will grow. I know you're working, part-time at the body shop, but a lot of your attention is there. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to, and if you can do it and you can just go out there and put 100% of your time and energy into growing that business, it'll grow a lot faster than you think. And it's not something that's just overnight, but in just, a few weeks to a month, every month will start getting better than the month before. And it's, you know what you need to make as far as a base thing to pay bills and stuff like that. So
yeah, and that's a tough thing for me because my wife has been pushing. We have old cars about getting a car, so we finally went and with the way price, even though used cars are about to drop in prices, we went and it was cost us the exact same amount of money to buy a brand new car than it will a used car.
Yeah.
And so we went like a week or two ago and put it down, not a down payment, but like a reserve on a brand new 4Runner. And so now I'm hustling even more, trying to get as much money as I can get to put a really good down payment on it.
Yeah.
But not, unfortunately, that just stresses me because we have no car payments. Now we're going to have car payments, and
it'll all work out. I promise you, because I was in the same boat. So, when I quit being mobile and I purchased the shop here, when I stopped being mobile, I'm like, I'm just going to be here. Okay. Well, then, looking at years before, and then every year it has, my sale, everything's just going up and up and up. It's because people start, like as a shop, people start getting used to you being at a location. Once that's established and they get into that, you being mobile, it's all about your repairs, the way you interact with a customer, how punctual you are to a job that you're doing. All that comes into play. And that's what you're focusing on getting out there, but you've got to have 100% of your thoughts, your time.
And that's why I quit the other collision center I was at. I was like, I can't work a full-time job and then try to start this business from scratch. Like body shops are closed by the time I get off. Dealerships are towards the end of their day. Like I just need to jump into, and I did. And like, I got some contacts and I've done some and had some stuff, but honestly, if I wouldn't have ever started again, I probably would have been further, but I wouldn't have made as much money as I have over the last like 6 or 7 weeks, which there's positives and negatives to both of them, but I'm getting more and more fed up with the collision side of things now. Again, that it's only been like 5 or 6 weeks,
and that'll weigh heavy on your mind and stuff too. And you want to go out there with a clear head and really, what you can do. Like I said, quality wise, how you repair dents, what you can fix, what you can't fix. If it's car lots, even if they're saying no, walk the lot, just kind of look and see what's there. If you're noticing there's not a lot of small dings, but there's some bigger stuff, and you can do that, you can always say, I understand you have a guy. Is he tackling the bigger dents on these vehicles? Do what the other guy's not. I'm not saying go undercut him and stuff like that, but if somebody's not doing what can be done, even if you got the bigger stuff, that's a little bit, and that gets your foot in the door. If you're not trying to take that, establish it. I'm not trying to take this technician job away from him. I'm not, but if he's not able to do this, give me a call. If he's out of town, give me a call.
That's how I've addressed pretty much everywhere I went, because everybody always has somebody already. So I don't know. I know a couple of the guys up here a little bit. Or I know one guy in my area. Carl's not necessarily even my competition. We live like 20 minutes from each other or 45 minutes from each other, but we don't really compete for work a whole lot. But I'm not particularly trying to take people's work from them. No. I'm like, I know you got a guy, that's fine. If they're on vacation, can't do something, or can't get to you and you need something now, give me a call. I'll gladly come try to help. And I mean, it's worked, and I'm just going to keep growing. As if I get my name out that I do quality work for a fair
Keep
price, and
keep
it's
stopping
gonna,
by those places. Keep stopping by them. Keep stopping
and
by
that's
them.
and that's where I need to quit doing collision work, and
Yeah.
so I can go to those places
Yeah.
because I'm filthy at the end of the day. I bring clothes and change to go price dents and to go do things, but I mean, I'm going to get there, and it's unfortunately coming into winter. That's why I quit when I did, because it was going to be summer, so it would help a little bit. Just
Yeah.
it's warmer, a little more time in the day to do stuff. But I'm not
Well,
super concerned that it's not going to work out.
you can always say the body shop you're at, say, hey, even if I'm not working here, try to work out a deal with them like Andy did for so long before he bought his shop. And he was in a body shop right behind where he bought his shop for years. He used an area, and he'd either do small stuff for them for free, when they had stuff just to as the rent, but at least it gives you somewhere, especially winter months, and you have an indoor place like that, it's good. I mean, team up with a body shop like that and work it out with them. They appreciate it. They'll still throw you work, but as long as you don't get caught back up in the conventional side of it, you're the PR guy.
I just want to get away from the conventional side of things. I don't like the big stuff. Like, they want to argue about stuff. I got a car right now that needs a frame, and it needs a frame. That's the way. I don't know how to fix it. I've tried to fix it. I can't fix it. I told him I can't fix this. This is out of my wheelhouse. And like, damn near shit my pants the other day, breaking a bolt while pulling on this frame at thousands of pounds of pressure, and it's just not something I enjoy doing.
If you don't enjoy doing it, you don't need to be doing it.
No, I'll get there, and I'm fine with how it's going, and I honestly appreciate everybody that's in the PDR community, because even if they don't, I'm not asking specific questions to them. I pay attention to tons of questions that are asked. I watch videos and see how things are going. Isn't his internet screwing up everywhere? Isn't it here when he's at home?
He's just screwy is all he is.
So I'm going to get there. I'm excited to grow. I'm excited to, like his meetup. I'm excited to meet other dent guys. Because I've never had anybody not that we all just want to talk about dents, but, make contacts. I'm going to go to MTE. I'm planning on going to MTE this year. Never been there before. So I'm like, just between hearing, some stories of people like having fun and stuff, just up late talking and Facebook don't know me.
Because you didn't hit the link, Jack.
Yeah. Just getting to know folks. I like that community aspect of the PDR company or PDR business.
How do I put this? I put it off for too long. I tried, getting to know people in my area and stuff. I didn't try hard enough. And then finally getting out there and really meeting and talking with tons of other techs all around. It's been great, and it really helps you grow as a business, as an individual. I was explaining that to customers earlier that the guy I was giving an estimate to, I was dropping the other customer off to pick his up. He's like, yeah, I used to have a brother-in-law or brother-in-law's friend that used to do what you do and all this. And I was like, okay, what's his name? He's like, Chuck. I'm like, I've never heard of him, but I sent him pictures of the dents that I was giving him an estimate on as a 22 model GMC and the stupid tailgate in the back, two dents in the top of it. 1 inch. Well, it's aluminum. You sure you can do it? Yes, sir, I can. This is very repairable. I do them all the time. explained how I do it and everything else. And he's like, well, this guy said couldn't be done. The body shop said it can't be done. If you can do it, then I'm going to take it back to them and show them. I'm like, I said, I know several of the guys around here. I said, honestly, I'm not saying this to be boastful or anything like that, be conceited, but I do literally have to fix these other guys' repairs after they get done, because if they say that it can't be done, it's because they can't do it, but they're not going to refer anybody else. I've got techs around that if, say, between me and Pensacola, if it's over closer to that, anywhere over there, I refer it to the tech that's over there. I know it's quality. I had one call me the other day from keep pointing like you know where I'm at.
I know. I know the general idea of where you're at.
Yeah, so
I mean, I don't know if you're in Mobile or actually in like Spanish Fort or something, but
no, I'm in Sims, which is just county,
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's he's over like near Gulf Shores area, and he's calling me about a scratch or something, not a dent. And I was like, well, I just have to see it. He's like, well, that's a long drive for me to run by there. And I'm like, where exactly are you again? He told me. I said, look, I'm going to text you from my personal number another technician that's so much closer to you. Go by there. Well, I'll probably next time I'm in Mobile, I'll just swing by your place. I'm like, okay, whatever.
I want to get to that point. I don't.
You will.
I'm not. Well, no. I'm not big on like bashing other people. Everybody has their own skill level, skill that they can do, and what they're okay with. If you're just a wholesale guy that your goal is to get 80%, 90% on the real nice cars or whatever, cool. That's fine. You do whatever you're happy with. You make the money that you're happy with. My goal is to be the best in the area. Like, I want to have very good quality that people know that they can come to me. And if I give them that, I say I can repair it. And that people have confidence in when they look me up, they can see like, oh man, this guy's got good reviews. People speak really well about the repairs that he does. Yeah. And that's one of the driving factors of, 5 years in, that I want to go pay someone to tell me how well I'm doing in PDR or things that I can do a little better. I know I'm not going to go somewhere for 2 days and it's going to infinitely change my abilities of training, of pushing and being a better PDR tech. But the knowledge in that person's head over the course of 16 hours or whatever, while we do some dents or bigger dents or whatever, is going to carry over for me and slowly grow my abilities even better. Big dents are hard and easy all at the same time. A big dent's just a small dent that's larger. Like, as long as you can really start it the right way, you're going to get there.
Yeah, you're creating smaller dents out of that big dent and then working smaller dents. You can always come down here and hang out.
Don't think I had thought about it. Like everybody's always so nice, and Andy's an hour and a half from me, maybe. Like, that, like, I'm not gonna just go knock on the door, like, "What's up? You got any work to do?" Like, but I've want to go get to know people and talk to people, and I want to be able to refer people to somebody else. If I don't think I can fix it and know somebody that can, I want to direct people in PDR, whether I fix it or not.
And that's the best way to do it.
And same thing for, Andy's doing, ceramic coating and wheels and stuff. All of us have people like, anybody that details, or anybody that does this. I want those contacts to be like, this person does good work.
Yeah.
Like I gave a guy that I know, he does PDR paint. He's actually an estimator as his day job. I worked with him at CarMax a while back. He does stuff. I messaged him, gave his number to a guy that I was fixing the car he was going to buy at the dealership. And he's a PDR guy. I was like, you need somebody that can do color correction, do that stuff, call this guy. And if that guy never calls me again to do PDR for any of the work that he has, that's fine. But if I'm able to give him a good contact to get some work done, he's at least going to remember that I'm a stand-up dude and may recommend me or may call me.
Yeah. Go. I was gonna say. Let me look it up. It was. What is Oh yeah, Masters of Recon. So one of the last episodes. It was the one with Matt Moore on there. So episode 106, running a multi-service shop with Matt Moore. Go listen to that one. And Matt really dives into exactly what you're talking about right there. And like what Jack's saying, you want to be the person that if they have any question automotive, they're going to call you. Because if you can't do it, you know the right person that can. And I get it all the time. And I send them to the people that I trust and know can do high quality jobs in those, whether it's detailing, ceramic coating, wheel repair, paint, any of that. I send them to the ones that I would use personally, even though I do a lot for a lot of the other those types of companies that refer people to me because they know I'm going to do it right. But if I see the quality that they put out and it's very subpar, I'm not going to send but somebody to them. And my customers, I explain it to them in a way that they understand that I'm going to send you, hey, well, this needs paint body work. Who are you going to send them to? Well, here's who I'm going to send you to because they do the highest quality in our area. I used to send people to this body shop because I knew the painter. The painter does absolutely fantastic work.
It's
funny but the body men suck. And so he's gotten to the point where he will paint whatever it is because that's his job. And you can still see the sand marks in the body work.
I couldn't fix a car a couple of weeks back. It was a 22, 23 Range Rover something. Aluminum quarter panel, gas door side, no access to a tool. Couldn't glue. I glued on it for an hour. I made it a little smaller, but I couldn't get it out. Finally told the lady, like, hey, I did my best. I couldn't. She got an estimate from the dealer that was like 7.5 hours to fix a dent that when it started was no bigger than my thumbnail. Like that was the body labor on it. It was like a $1,400 estimate. I said, I go somewhere else. And I had told her, I said, I do collision repair and stuff too. I was like, you don't want to go where I work. I wouldn't send you to where and it's not even that. Like I could have got the car, did fantastic body work. The painter is awful. So
there's always either one or the other.
So it's
you finally hit the jackpot and they're both good.
And I'm gonna be like honest with people. Like I only went to that place where I work to try to build a relationship, and that was it. That was one of the reasons why I was like, I'll go work for a couple of weeks, help them out. I get to still do some stuff, make a little bit of money, and build a relationship. So that's that was my goal. This is a panel.
Nope.
And it's an
interview.
Yeah,
like I had I know the guy. I go to church with the guy. And I do send stuff his way, but like he sent a couple of hail jobs my way from the little hailstorm we had. And he said, all I ask if it needs paint work, just let us do it. Well, he's shorthanded now and it's not the greatest. So if it does, I'm not sending it, that way. But luckily nothing that he sent me needed.
I have no idea.
I ain't no telling who that is and what it is.
Facebook. or YouTube.
No, YouTube. Yeah.
Um, no,
Anyway,
it'll get there, and it's fine. And
yeah,
I make contacts and talk to people, and there's some shops do better than others, and I I think we're the only people that pray for hail. And I know there's like I'm not a hail tech by any means. I can fix
yeah.
hail. I don't enjoy fixing hail. I enjoy the paycheck of a hail job, so that's why I fix it.
Well, it's like
It's so monotonous.
when I traveled for
Yeah, we do.
when I traveled for as much as I did, managing disaster work, man-made natural disasters, hurricanes, everything else. When there's a hurricane coming, we're like, yeah, 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 we don't want death. We want all, vegetation destruction, stuff like that. But that's why they call us storm whores, because that's our livelihood. We made great money. Fort Myers got totally destroyed, but the cleanup crews and stuff that'll have to go down there, and they'll most likely use a lot of local crews. Them people they're going to start making some great money to get back on their feet. Same way with hail. We
Yep.
wish that
I want Alabama hail. I don't want Texas hail. So
it must be Andy.
I was just saying, I didn't notice you typing, so it's
No, it must be Andy.
And didn't Andy have a hailstorm not long ago? Because I think it hailed
No,
in Columbia and stuff. That wasn't far from his shop.
No, he came down here and helped me for a few weeks. We had a little hailstorm and stuff, and it was right after he bought his shop and incognito.
He just can't stay away.
Yeah,
Andy needs hail.
The only reason he'd be stressed because he's got that U-Haul, going, and no, he'd be fine, man. There's a lot of technicians that he could put to use,
Yeah, no, it's for me starting out. If a small hailstorm came to where, I mean, even over the course of 2 months, if I got 10 hail jobs, like that's changing for me as money in the bank and able to do stuff. So we'll hit one eventually. It always comes. It's just about when it does.
Yeah, Andy'd be like, "Here,
Here's
John. Here's my shop." But yeah, when you have them like that, it's like the hailstorm we had here, the little one this year. It's something that I could handle by myself. I could spread them all out. But Andy just bought that damn shop and just spent tons of money trying to renovate that sucker, and the phone stopped. He wasn't getting any work. And I was like, hailstorm just hit. I will call you as soon as, first bunch of estimates start getting approved. When it gets approved, then, he can only come down for just a couple weeks. I'm like, I'm not having you come down to do estimates. You're not going to make any money. So as soon as they start getting approved, that's when I was like, come on. He come down 2 weeks, make great money, go back home, do what he's got to do. And he's freaking exploded up there, especially with U-Haul, and just, doing good. But it's been perfect for me, especially after, because they're one, 2 a week,
we had a hailstorm in May down in the south side of town. I got one car, and I got it like once I went on my own. The funny thing is when I left the collision center, I had to do 3 hail cars the last week I was there. Because now one I had priced before, and it was from Kentucky, and it was demolished. Yeah. Like it was replace hood, trunk, roof was pushed to paint, and I did all the hail work, all the body work. Did everything for that car. But it was any old body guys. That week my last week there, I ran 200 hours. Like it was crazy because I ran everything I had to finish up. But that one car was a lot. But
that was that same storm that hit down here. That's that same. It was a lot of spots in Alabama got hit.
So
I know Montgomery got hit, and I know up there towards Coleman and Huntsville area got hit. And then I watched the stinking sail coming straight down. And I'm my youngest one's dance recital. Andy's already texted me saying his grandma's house in Robertsdale was, she had video. It was like acorn size. And I'm like, I'm watching it come down.
perfect hail. Nice,
like,
small,
here we
easy
go.
dents to push. You're going to get a lot of them.
Yeah. And but what hit right out here by the shop, I mean, it was up to golf ball size hailstones. But it was, I mean, you can ask Andy. It was gravy. I mean, we'd have to schedule it, and he, of course, he was staying in my trailer at the shop, so he'd come in early, and he'd start on it, and I'd come in, and then we'd be done by lunchtime with that. And then I'm like, I don't have anything till tomorrow because I figured it'd take us a day.
Take us longer than that.
Yeah, and so I mean, we did. In the first week he was here, we worked maybe a total of 2.5 full days. I mean, if you look at all the cars for that week, just because, I wasn't going to overload him, and I didn't know if I was going to be doing tons of estimates and stuff. But anyway, it worked out great. But dude, we're almost 2 hours in.
We might as well stay on for 3 more minutes and just hit the mark.
Hey, we'll do it. Hell yeah!
I'm looking at your schedule for the back, because last week you're like, oh, it's a little empty because we were doing stuff.
Well, I had, so the bottom row is still September, so all the top is October now. I don't have everything up there, but I mean, it's like this week. I had a couple of them. So yesterday and today, so my buddy's old trailer. So his dad and my dad were best friends. He was basically an uncle. The kids were like my cousins. That's who I hunt with and stuff. I grew up hunting with, and we weren't in contact for a long time until probably 6-7 years ago. He finally moved back to Alabama, and he's like, look, I still got family property up there. If you want to try to go back up there, but we have, and back in it with his uncle and stuff, and several, 100 acres and stuff that we hunt. But so the trailer, his 5x10 utility trailer that he has, is the one that his dad had. Him and my dad bought at pretty much the same time from right down here by the shop trailer place. It needs a lot of work done to it. Okay, so we pulled it back from the hunting camp 2 weekends ago, and I had it here at the shop. And so Tuesday, I'm like, I ain't got crap to do right now. So Monday afternoon, that's what it was. So Monday afternoon, after I finished that first job I had, I was like, the jack didn't work on it. He wanted to change it all around, because when you dump the tailgate down, it hits the top of the old jack. The tongue, the coupler up there didn't work right and stuff. So I'm like, you know what? Cut that old jack off. I had one here that I had used for a portable motorcycle tank vise. I'm like, I don't need that anymore. So I welded it on the trailer on the side, made a metal plate to cover the old area up there where the old jack was, welded it on there, took the whole coupler apart, cleaned it real good, re-welded pieces back to it, and, lubed it up real good. Sucker worked great. And then I texted him. I said, hey, I did some upgrades to some modifications to your trailer. He's like, man, that's exactly what I've been wanting to do. And I said, did you say you wanted to replace the wood on this thing? He said, I'll pay you parts, labor, everything if you'll go ahead and redo it. And I was like, well. So I started on it yesterday and finished this afternoon. And let's see here. I forgot to take a real before picture. I'd already taken some of the wood off. But this is how old and rusted and
Yeah.
everything it was. It has wood on the sides.
He gonna have Eagle trailer repair now.
Well, here's the final product.
Oh man, they look brand new.
It's like a brand new stinking trailer now. Because I wire brushed with the grinder all the rust that I could get off, repainted, 3 coats on it, and so I'm talking to him this afternoon, and he's like, "Man, that looks brand new, man. You don't know how long I've been wanting to do this, and I just don't have the skills that you have." And I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Just let me know how much I owe you in that, and I'll double it, and for what the parts were." He said, "I'll just double whatever the cost of materials was, and that'll be." I said, "Man, I'm not charging you for my labor in it." And he said, "Oh, bull crap." I said, "Dude, you don't know how much money I have in materials right now." He's like, "How much?" I'm like, "You're probably $700-800 in material." He's like, "Oh, okay, well, whatever it is." I was like, "You just pay me back for all the material costs and all that." "Well, I'm gonna pay you for your time." I'm like, whatever, It is what it is. But yeah, that's what 2 days in between jobs has been dealing with that. I mean,
I had to keep it busy.
I had to do a lot of welding. The gate on it had one of the latches was missing. It had ripped off, so I had to cut that section, the square tubing out, put an angle iron in there, cut it where it fit in there and weld it. I actually made another metal handle on that sucker. Let's see.
At least something to do, something to, I guess, getting out of the monotonous of dents. But that's just fun a little bit. I don't mind doing a lot of those things.
I don't either when it's for
me.
As
a job. Or if it was like for really good money, I don't mind it. I got a buddy that does collision, but he does it on the side with his dad too. They take wrecked cars, rebuild them, and they have clean titles and sell them. They make way more money doing it that way. I guess so much easier doing that.
I just saw where Jack said that was James Ricci. It was like an hour and 40-something minutes. So yeah, Matt Myers is the new king of the show without Andy on here. Yeah, even though he's been co-hosting on the side. So
a newcomer to PDR business, nobody knows who I am, and I'm all.
They know who you are now, and you'll be famous. And come to Andy's meetup and MTE, and then
I'm gonna make a T-shirt for MTE. It says "longest show guest" and have Ginger Bros on it.
Andy will probably we'll get another guest on here, and he's gonna want to beat this time. So
biggest upset in PDR history.
Yeah. All right, well, I still got to work out, and then I got to go home.
I got to go fix this roof.
And you got to go fix the roof. So anyway, hey, again, for the second time, appreciate you. An hour ago, I told you. Appreciate you coming on. And it's been fun.
The invite.
And again, thanks for everybody that's continued to watch and join along with this. But
enjoy the last few minutes of your night, everybody.
So I'm going to back you back out real quick. I'm going to end the show, go off, and then we'll say our goodbyes. So anyway, appreciate everybody again, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Later. Thanks again for watching another episode of Ginger Bros Dent Show. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And for all past episodes, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or Podbean. Keep pushing, make that money. See you next week.